AFTV, we have just missed out on the Conference League. By finishing 8th today. Tottenham have made the Conference League.
Yeah.
We finished 8th. It's been a terrible season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been an awful season. And I know there was that little, part of us where you could finish above Spurs and you get to gloat for 5 minutes sort of thing. But that's all it would have been, gloat for about 5 minutes, wind your mates up, maybe collect a few bets, but that's it.
To me, nothing to gloat about.
No.
When one team's finished 7th and the other team's finished 8th, there's nothing to gloat about.
No.
Both teams have been dreadful.
Yeah, both have been dreadful. And I just look at today's game and I just think, where were these kind of, performances from individuals and the team collectively, when it really mattered? Because, we've gone on to a bit of form, players have hit a bit of form, all at a period where I go, too little, too late. Yeah. I don't really take anything as being, an achievement. And like Pepe, don't get me wrong, I think he's been consistently performing near enough week in, or when he plays, should we say, since
15 goals in all competitions.
Since the turn of the year. But too little, too late. And I just keep looking at Wednesday and thinking, we should be going over to Poland. We should be in a Europa League final. We should be, trying to get a place in the Champions League. And we blew it. We blew it. And I'm still angry about it. And I'm still so annoyed with how it all went about. And look, at the end of the day, look, in the cold light of day, we'll probably sit there and be grateful that we're not in this Conference League. Some of the games are like 4:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday, playing on a Sunday, and being in the Europa League has been a hindrance. And it's not easy doing the Thursday, Sunday, and everything. But this, with all due respect to the teams in there, it's a competition that should be for teams that don't normally get into European.
Shouldn't exist.
Well,
ridiculous.
But there we go. For me, sometimes you may just have to take a step back to, move 2 steps forward. And ultimately, we'll find out next season whether this will be the making of us and whether we will actually grow from it. But it could well be something we look back on and say, yeah, that's a good thing to have happened to us. It happened to Chelsea a few years ago.
Out of Europe.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. But we've got massive problems, Robbie. Let's not mask over it. We've got massive problems. And, maybe scraping through to the Europa League, for example, like we may have done the other night or whatever it is, or even winning the Europa League and getting into the Champions League, will kind of mask over all of the gaping holes that are there. That's the big issue here, is that what we normally do is that we use a plaster to cover massive wounds, and it only lasts for so long. What you need to do is actually stitch the wounds up and let it heal properly. And we've never done that. It's always just been a patch up, and just cover. The FA Cup last season, as great as it was, ultimately it was a cover, which has just opened up and started bleeding out again. And that's the best way of describing it, Robbie. So maybe if we would have got into the Europa League or even the Conference League, or even managed to get through to the final of the Europa and got into the Champions League, it would have just been covering up all those wounds.
A blessing in disguise for you.
It could well be. It could well be. It hurts finishing below Tottenham regardless. It always does because of the rivalry thing. But I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It ain't like we finish second and they finish first. Man United fans should lose more sleep because their big rivals have just finished first. They're in the Champions League final. That would hurt me when your neighbours are doing that. Our neighbours ain't doing that. Our neighbours ain't winning trophies. They're not finishing miles ahead of us. And like you said, who's going to have bragging rights over finishing 7th or 8th?
And the thing is about it, with that Conference League for me, even if we were in that next year and we won it.
Oh, dude. What would you get for winning it, Robbie? Do you know what you actually get?
You get to go in the Europa League.
Oh, yeah, great.
I don't want it.
Great.
To me, the best thing is now, this is a reset for Arsenal. A big reset. Josh Kroenke was at the game today.
Yep.
What does he need to do this summer?
Sell.
Apart from the very obvious, which is sell. He's saying ain't selling. What does he need to do?
Back the manager, spend money, major surgery. There was one player on that pitch today that I want. If you're really, really serious in backing this manager, backing your talk, telling us to get excited, go buy Basuma.
That's one, though.
That's one.
That's only one.
I know that's only one, but I'm saying in terms of who was on the pitch today. Yeah, go buy him. If you're genuinely serious and they're talking about 40-odd million pound or whatever it is, with all due respect to Brighton, we're Arsenal Football Club. Go to Brighton, pay the money, take the player, we go on to the next target. Yeah, let's be real. We're Arsenal Football Club, they're Brighton. So if you want to act like a big club, or you want to be a big club, act like one. Go find the best player, go buy him.
And if you're keeping the club, because right now I'm looking at it and I'm saying Arsenal are in a, will be in a lot of debt after this season and next season. No European football, right? We're going to have to spend a lot of money to try and get back. That's 2 seasons in 8th position. The league don't lie. We're miles off even the top 4 at the moment. To get to that position, we need to spend money. There's players that need to be shifted out. There's quality that needs to be brought in. So he's probably looking at, you need to spend about 100 million at least.
More.
For next, I think more. But at least for next, in the summer.
Robbie,
to me, he has, if they're keeping it with the intentions of what they said the other day to bring us back to where we want to be, they have to spend big this summer. If they don't spend big this summer at the very minimum, I don't even know what the point of keeping it is. Because they're in debt now. They're not making money off it.
I think that we need to spend up to £200 million before we sell players and then probably recoup.
And to tempt players this summer now, no European football. I don't personally think that players are tempted by the Europa League anyway. No. Quality players. Quality players are tempted by 2 things. Champions League or money.
I think that if you go to players with the right project, and you players will look and say, all right, I'll take a season out to get to where we want to go to. Cool. If they believe in the project and they can see we're going to go and buy X, Y, Z, doing this, that, the other, then Arsenal's still an attractive proposition, regardless of what people and little twats online who just think that that we're some small club now because we're having this period in our history. Is at the end of the day, listen, man, it's been a tough season to take. But the one bonus that I would say about this season is that we ain't had to actually be in the stadium and watch it. So that's probably...
We're back next year and let's hope they can
We'll be back next year. Listen, also, I want the club to let us know what they're going to do with season tickets next season. Don't think I'm paying nearly £900 and there's no European football.
No, it's going to have to drop.
We're going to have to drop it
That's
again.
What I'm saying, they're going to lose a lot of money.
They dropped it from the Champions League prices to the Europa League. Now you've got to drop it to nothing. There's no European football. So let's see what the club are going to do. Little things that the club, need to do to try and get the fans on side. And I see so much from other clubs at the moment, and I just sit there with a smile on my face, but not a smile because I'm happy, but a smile of just like that resentment, that kind of I look at Man City, they've got the Champions League final coming up.
They're paying for all their people to go.
And they're paying for all their fans to go over there. Where were Arsenal helping us when we all had to go to Baku? Remember, we're sponsored by an airline as well. Telling me you couldn't have all got loads of planes together and got all the officials travelling Arsenal faithful all over to Baku and helped us? No, because you don't care. Leicester today, they had their game, and I saw a thing before the game where every fan in the stadium was given a drink and something to eat and just a little token, little something. Might not mean a lot, but to a fan, that's like...
Thank you.
Yeah, and that they care. What do we get? Free program. Do you know what I mean? You got a free program?
Cecil said they got a free program, all right.
Oh, yeah, free program. Yeah, they can shove that up their arse. Do you know what I mean? What's it going to have in it? Josh's wise words and everything. And this is the thing. What's really going on at the club in terms of who's going to be actively involved now? All right? Because Stan owns the club, but it's his son that's doing everything. So come out and say, look, my dad's going to concentrate on the Rams and do all that stuff. I'm actively going to be the one over here now. I'm going to be the one involved.
We've heard that before and he ain't.
No, but this is what I'm saying. There's no clarity, Robbie. There's no understanding of what's actually going on at this club. So what I would say is that, maybe this could be the making of something for us, because I feel that we've needed a clean slate to completely repair all the wounds that have been gaping for a decade. Let's be real about it, man. And I alluded to it before. There was an interview I did when Wenger's last season, and I said we're a top 8 team. That was 4 years ago, and people laughed at me. And they told me that I'm all doom and gloom and yes, before a season starts, I might predict we'll get top 4 or this, that, because you always live in hope, because you always have your thoughts in your head and your thoughts in your heart. Your heart always says, I can win the league this season. Always says that we're going to do this, do that. But in reality, your head's like, yeah, we're crap. Do you know what I mean? And we could all see it. I saw it 4 or 5 years ago. We were a top 8 team. And until we repair it, for a very long time, and I've been going a long time. I've been going since the 86, 87 season.
Worse than the Premier League era?
Worse than the Premier League era, yeah. In terms of how poor it was. Just everything when you mix it together, not being able to go to games, and just the season in general, how awful it's felt, and the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with the owners. And when you mix all that together, it's got to be the worst by a million miles. It's worse than even, the Bruce Rioch season. And at least we got in Europe that year. Do you know what I mean? But that wasn't that bad. But when you mix it all together, it's just been a horrible, poisonous, rotten season. And I can't wait to just go off now. Not in the sunset, because I can't even leave the country. Go Butlins or Centre Parks or wherever, man. The beach. But then look at the weather. Even that's crap. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But we move on, man.
Next season.
Man.